Well, Wake Up Dead Man is opening up in theaters in just about a week from now, I think. And that's going to be before they put it out on Netflix, pardon me, in December. And I got to tell you what, guys, I'm dying to see this thing. I've talked to a couple people that think this is the best one so far. I love the first two ones. I think he's incredible. I love that we have a new detective ongoing franchise series. I'm a sucker for whodunit films. I love these things. The question becomes, though, Wake Up Dead Man is the final film in the deal that Rian Johnson has with Netflix for producing these films. So is he going to stop? Well, it doesn't sound like it, because according to a new interview with Rian Johnson is saying that he and Daniel Craig are already starting to put together ideas for what their next film will be. He said the following: filmmaker Rian Johnson has been seeding questions about whether he and star Daniel Craig might continue their Benoit Blanc franchise following the upcoming Wake Up Dead Man, the third film in the series, which includes 2019's Knives Out and 2022's Glass Onion. Now, speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Johnson confirms that he and Craig are already at work getting up new ideas for Benoit Blanc's next adventure, though it's too early to confirm whether a new film is officially on the books. Rian said, "Creatively, I feel energized after making Wake Up Dead Man. Daniel and I are already starting to formulate what the next one will be if we do another one. I don't know why I would stop doing it if we could keep making them." Now, nothing is mentioned in here about whether or not he and Netflix are looking at extending it. But Rob, I have to believe that if Netflix decides not to do anymore, I got to believe there is going to be a lineup of suitors at Rian Johnson's door looking to get in on this Knives Out action. I think Universal will make him offers. I think Paramount will make him offers. I think Disney will make him offers. I think there's a lot of other studios, even like Stay Digital, even something like Apple TV or Amazon will probably, you know what, Amazon seems like a logical one too, that would absolutely get in line to be the producers of the next Knives Out. Honestly, I hope that's what happens, because I think every one of those other suitors, including Apple TV, Rob, and Amazon, I think if either of those or any of the other studios get it, they're going to give the next Knives Out film a full theatrical rollout. Now, listen, I'm grateful that we're getting at least a couple of weeks for it. I'm going to get to see this movie in theaters. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm excited about it. But if Netflix doesn't step up to the plate on this, yeah, I think you could see a Universal presents the next Benoit Blanc classic, Knives Out 4, whatever it is. So anyway, Rob, do you think this is something that Rian Johnson should continue making? If so, what do you think the chances are that Netflix may want to re-up? Or does Rian Johnson take his toys and go to another studio at this point? What do you think?
Well, look, I love this franchise. I can't wait to see Wake Up Dead Man. I really had a great time with Knives Out, which I thought was terrific, and I really like Glass Onion a lot. So I think, look, we always talk about new franchises. Here's another one. John Wick and the Knives Out franchises. I mean, they're not like our big epic fantasy sci-fi blowouts, but they're very respectable franchises. The thing I wonder is, how do the rights work? Because did Netflix purchase all the rights? Did they purchase the rights to these two movies?
They made a 2-film deal.
Right, but do they own those 2 films, or do the rights revert back to? Because they
probably own those films, but the rights to the characters to carry on would probably remain with Rian Johnson.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because, you know, the one drawback of trying to get another suitor to buy the films or to make another movie is they won't own the franchise will be bifurcated. Yeah. You know, if Warner Brothers owns those 2 movies, you're never going to have the Benoit Blanc franchise sitting in one place.
Well, they'd have to license it. They'd make a license deal.
Yeah, that's what they'd have to do. But it'd be interesting, or just buy them outright. I don't know. But I would imagine that Netflix, it would be in their benefit to make another deal. Why not a 3-picture deal this time? Pony up some cash, Netflix. I mean, here's something that has been doing well for you. Everyone likes these movies. You've got great creative partners. Why not keep that going? Better than Rings of Power over Amazon.
Listen, Rings of Power season 2 was pretty good.
It looks like a Stray.
It was much better than season 1. But look, here's the interesting question to me. What if it's just a 2-picture deal, period, that they had? And let's say Netflix wants to re-up. Does Rian Johnson go with Netflix? Or does he say, hey, thanks, Netflix. It's been fun, but bye, Felicia. I want a full theatrical run for my films. Now that we've seen over the course of 3 movies, these work. And I'm going to have other suitors.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's zapier.com/Campea.
So assuming, because I haven't read anything, Rob, about Netflix having an option for more. The only stuff I've ever read was that they signed a solid 2-picture deal. I did not read anything about Netflix holding the option or having a right of first refusal. So here's an interesting question for you. Rian Johnson has not said anything negative about his experience working with Netflix, other than the fact that he'd like to have his films have more of a theatrical run. But let's say it's open to anybody and Netflix gets in line as well and says, yeah, we'd be interested in making more. Do you think Rian Johnson stays and keeps his films at Netflix, or do you think he leaves and goes with somebody else?
Look, doing business, they gave him $450 million, and that's not bad. So I would say that yeah, if we're doing good business together, it makes sense, I think, to continue doing business if that's what Netflix wants to do. And Netflix is dipping their toes further into theatrical. Maybe this could lead the way toward, I mean, Wake Up Dead Man is getting a bit of a theatrical release. So I would say that the safe bet would be to say that there's probably going to be a new deal in the offing for another, I would imagine more than one movie. Because, you know, why not build 2 when you can get 2 at twice the price, according to S.R. Haddon in Contact. But yeah, I think Netflix is. I would bet on Netflix on this one. I don't think anyone else is gonna take it away.
Here's my guess. I honestly think that if Netflix and let's just say Universal for argument's sake. Netflix and Universal both are coming in with a bid of, I don't know, $600 million for 3 films. Let's just for argument's sake. I think whichever one gives to Rian Johnson a guarantee a full theatrical run out is the one he's going to go with. Because he's not been silent on this. Like, Rian Johnson has expressed publicly that he does wish that Netflix would give these films more of a theatrical runway. And I think if Netflix comes in and says, hey, we want to sign a new 3-picture deal, I think, and I'm just speculating here, but I could see Rian Johnson say to them, that sounds great to me, but I want a commitment from you for full theatrical releases for my films prior to going to Netflix. None of this 2-week nonsense, none of this limited number of theaters nonsense. I want full theatrical treatments from them. And then the ball is going to be in Netflix's court. Because I agree with you, Rob. I think if Netflix were to come to the table with Rian Johnson and say, yeah, we'll give you another 2-film deal or 3-film deal, whatever. We'll give you X amount of money and we'll give you a full theatrical commitment. Then I agree. Then I think Rian Johnson stays at Netflix and makes his next films there. But if he does not, if Netflix does not give him those assurances, if Netflix does not give him that theatrical commitment, I can completely see him go somewhere else. Now, you brought up the problem, Rob, and you were right to do so, about how the rights, if it goes somewhere else, the rights to the Knives Out things are then, fractured. But they already are, because the first Knives Out wasn't made with Netflix. So there's already a little bit of that question. And so I don't think it would be a detriment. So I think if Netflix gives him what he wants and gives him full theatrical, I think he stays. But I think if they don't, I think he leaves.
Well,
but I'm just speculating. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that Netflix doesn't make a deal for $450 million without an extension clause or something that says, hey, we either get right of first refusal or we are going to continue. And then in terms of the first Knives Out, it might have been produced with a financing deal with multiple financiers, and it only had a distribution deal. I don't remember who put out Knives Out. I don't remember.
I want to say Paramount, but I could be wrong.
Oh, the first one was Lionsgate.
Okay,
it was Lionsgate. Okay.
So that might have only been a distribution deal, or not. I mean, I don't know, but I think that Netflix would be the obvious person, and if Knives Out was made with a consortium of financiers, they might own it, and indeed, Netflix might have licensed it. But I'd be curious because I like the way I like finding out how things work within the business. I would love to see how that deal played out. I mean, you never get to hear these deal points. I'm just fascinated by how things get made. So I can't imagine Netflix would just make a 2-picture deal and spend $450 million without having pretty good clauses in that deal saying, hey, we would like to continue on if this is a fruitful partnership.
I mean, they could look beyond Knives Out. They could give him a whole production suite. Deal where they're now in a handshake with Rian Johnson movies. So,
but again, I think everybody's underestimating how big this theatrical thing is for Rian Johnson.
I agree, but he did agree to take that deal in the first place, knowing they were going to be made for Netflix.
Just two. So he's in a different position now. So anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Rian Johnson saying him and Daniel Craig have already started formulating ideas for a Knives Out 4. But who would that be with? How much of a deal could he get? Would it be theatrical? These are all questions we'll have to find out later on. Whatever you guys think, pardon me, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.